welcome back to the Wolf HunterZ channel, y'all. My name is Jon of the Wolf HunterZ, and next to me, a woman so beautiful that you had to click on this thumbnail. I know it. It is
Dolly, hey.
And we are here to react to some music for you. If you look beneath this video, you'll see some links in the description box.
Go check them out.
You could even request your own reaction video, y'all.
That's right.
Which I think is super fun. And I enjoy it, so.
Win-win.
Yeah, now, that's what I say. Today's request is brought to us by the chief of comic relief. It is Thomas! And Thomas, you're bringing us one of our favorite comedic classical composers.
Ooh.
PDQ Bach.
Yay!
And this is Beethoven's Fifth Symphony. And what's actually interesting is we have done a reaction to, I think it was the official album version of this.
Right.
And he was working back and forth off of a dude in that recording. This is a live performance.
Ooh.
And he's working with a live orchestra, and a different person is doing the back and forth banter with him.
Oh, wow.
So this is like a different adaptation of this thing that we did called New Horizons and Music Appreciation, something like that. So this is really cool. Thank you so much for this, Thomas. You rock. Before we get into this one, we need your help, everybody. If you guys love PDQ Bach, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell, and definitely, most assuredly, go ahead and, you know, comment below, guys. Oh, they did the gun!
And they're off with a 4-note theme. I don't know whether it's slow or fast because it keeps stopping, folks. Doesn't seem to be able to get off the ground. But it does look like we're coming up to a cadence here. No, the violins didn't cut off. They weren't watching. Surprised they weren't called for holding. There's that 4-note theme again and another stop. Just cannot seem to get this off the ground. Tell me, Giff, do you think you would call that 4-note idea a theme or a motif?
Well, Pete, the technical term would be a motif that he uses to build a theme.
Thanks for setting me straight on that, Giff. Okay, we're heading into the second theme section here. We can be looking for a little modulation out of the field. Why did you hear that, Giff? Somebody in that horn section really slugged that note. That has got to be one of the worst fumbles I've ever witnessed in all my days. I think that was Bobby Corno, wasn't it, Giff?
Yes, it was, Pete.
Well, we're going to be having an instant replay on that.
Oh my gosh.
How can they sit there with
The orchestra is
straight
cracking
face?
up.
Oh, are they?
Yeah. Oh, they have numbers on their back.
Okay, that is no doubt. To me, there's no doubt about that. The referee has ruled in favor of the conductor. He has slapped a 30-bar penalty on the fending horn player, who is now on his way over to the penalty box.
That is Bobby Corno in the first chair. And that's the third major flop he's made this season, giving him a solo average for the season of approximately .247233, Pete, which is pretty darn low for a first chair person.
You think there's some chance he may be traded to another orchestra?
Well, Pete, it's hard to say. Corno is very good at the long solos, things like the Rachmaninoff piano concerto, so I think if he pulls himself together a bit, they'll keep him around. Although I suppose that...
Okay, we're off again now, Giff. The orchestra is playing without its first horn, which means we can be looking for a power play from the conductor pretty soon. Now, that's a pretty stiff penalty, isn't it, Giff? 30 bars?
Yes, it is, Pete. Although these bars go by pretty fast, it isn't really that much in terms of time. I think the longest that anyone has ever stayed in the penalty box was when George Zell played the Philadelphia Orchestra in 1955, and the entire French horn section spent the whole last movement in the penalty box. Of course, in spite of that, the Phillies came out on top.
That's right. I tell you what, Giff, I think we're getting into development section here. Let's see what happens after the double bar. Well, the horns are starting things off, and they seem to be in pretty good shape now. And I get the feeling we're going to be hearing a lot of that 4-note motif, don't you, Giff?
Yes, I do, Pete.
So do I, Giff. Well, they're probably stuck with that now for quite a while. So I think what we ought to do is take a little break for station identification.
This is WTWP, wall-to-wall Pachelbel, Hoople.
What?
Okay, we're back now, folks.
What?
And there's something going
How
on.
did they
out
do
there.
that?
Building up tension.
That was
The brass
crazy.
is coming and intimidate, and I think we're building up to a fugue. No, it is not a fugue, folks. The violins tried to make it one, but the basses just are not following up. No, instead of a fugue, they seem to be taking that theme and breaking it up into little pieces. Just 2 notes left of that theme. It's getting softer and softer down there.
crowd's getting into it,
I think
too.
they're running out of steam, if you want to know the truth. Getting just a little bit lethargic. Only 1 note left of that theme now being tossed around from player to player. Wait a minute. Here come the brasses, trying to pep things up, a welcome relief, but I'm afraid to no avail. Things are still pretty soft. Wait, here they come again, though. They sound very determined, and I do believe we've reached the recap, don't you, Gaff?
Well, there's no doubt about it, Pete. Your average Beethoven Symphony usually has a recap after the second quarter, and this one is falling right in line.
Well, let's see if those violins can cut off with the rest of the orchestra here. Wait, this time it's the oboe holding the note. Well, she's playing a cadenza. She must be out of her mind. She thinks it's an oboe concerto. The conductor is protesting there. I've never heard anything like that. Have you, Giff?
I certainly haven't. I think it was a disgraceful display of lack of teammanship, and I wouldn't be
Believe it. The referee has had to separate them. I'm telling you, you don't want to mess with her. You know, I think we're going to have a ruling now on that. How about that? He has ruled in favor of the orchestra. I guess that cadenza must have been written in the part after all. And there's a delay of game penalty, a 34-bar penalty against Jacoby, who is now over in the penalty box himself. And he'll be lucky to get back in time for the second theme. Well, I guess Highwood knew what she was doing, Giff.
She usually does, Pete, and this time she not only scored a personal solo, but she also made it possible for the orchestra to recover from Bobby Corno's fumble there in the exposition.
That was a bad one, too.
That was
I think we're ready to resume play now. The referee has given the captain of the orchestra the sign.
Yeah.
And okay, they're off. They're off again. They're doing pretty well. I think they're really making up for lost time. Anyway, we're into the home stretch here, folks. We've got the second theme coming up, and we should be in C minor right up to the last double bar.
Oh, he has speed pads.
Yeah, he's
Jacoby is back on the mound.
That's hilarious.
Hey, this is really something, Giff. You know, this piece is billed as being in C minor, and yet it looks like it's going to end in C major.
It's really something, Pete.
It is something, Giff. And I think it's going to be... wait a minute. I think we have an injury in the bass section. The referee has blown the whistle. And the referee's blown the whistle is what he's done.
Well, it looks like it's a groin injury, Pete. That's what happens when the bases get too close together.
Oh my gosh.
He's on his way out.
You know, management is always trying to save space, especially in the bass section, which usually contains some of the biggest players in the club. And sometimes they just squeeze them just a little bit too close together.
That's what happens, right?
And this is the result. Now that's what
Now, I tell you what, we got a substitution in here. He looks like he's
Where did he go?
leave, if you ask me.
I think you're right.
The referee's putting him into position there.
Okay, got it. Run it.
Oh. Listen to that.
What?
I think this is going to be a whole new ball game, Giff. Okay, they're getting ready to resume play now. And we're off. The orchestra only has a few more bars to go for a first downbeat. Things are really beginning to roll here. They've added all the woodwinds, they've thrown in the brass and the timpani, and it's tooty all the way, folks. They've got a great drive going on out there. It looks like we're coming into the home stretch, eh, Giff?
Well, Pete, it's been a good match.
It's been a very good match indeed. Wait a minute, wait a minute. The brasses are taking the theme. They are not letting it stop. Giff, this piece is definitely going to go into overtime. I can tell that. And let me tell you that nobody, but nobody knows where this theme is. There's a lot of running around down there, but nobody knows what the theme is. Believe me, folks, it's very exciting. Okay, the crowd is going wild. They've got a new theme going on out there. I can't believe it, Giff. Do you know where this new theme comes from?
Well, Pete, it probably comes from, I don't know.
Thanks a lot, Giff. You're a big help. Well, they're tossing it around now. The woodwinds have it, and then the strings. Nobody seems to be able to keep his or her hands on that theme. Believe me, folks, the people in the stands are just as confused as the players. Wait a minute now. The strings have got a hold of things. The strings have got a hold, and they're not going to let go. What's this? It sounds like another recap. It sounds like they're going right back to the beginning. If this is true, it's the first time in 40 years of concert casting. Wait a minute. Those do sound like final chords, though. We are watching the referee, and that is it. That is the end of the match.
Oh my God.
Okay, what a match, huh? Unbelievable. That was one shot of adrenaline.
The cheerleaders.
Okay. I mean, they put it out.
Oh my gosh, dude.
Wow.
That was so cool. So
Yeah.
I love how they did that. We heard the album version, and then I guess he does this live and then changes it, because what we heard in the album version didn't have injuries, it didn't have penalty boxes.
Right.
So this is very interesting how they kind of put a live twist on it. Thomas, thank you so much for this.
Thank you.
We appreciate you so much. And I don't know, this was a great idea, man.
Yeah,
Really, really good
loved
stuff.
it.
Everybody else, thank you for hanging out with us. If you enjoyed this reaction, hit that subscribe button. We'll see you again very soon.
We love you.
Bye!
I just wanna bang my head.